which you'd think I'd have more, but anyway. We're going to get started here. As a way to get everybody's creative juices flowing, get their brains working, Keith, and I know this will be hard for you, but in 2 minutes, please, could you explain the process that you use when sitting down to write a module from scratch with no prompts?
So with no prompts at all, again, the question to me is, a module is the same sort of experience as reading a short story or as essentially an episode of a TV show. The first thing that I want to know is why, what's the hook? What's compelling to the players? Why am I going to enjoy this story? It is obviously a very different experience if you are creating a adventure or a home group that you play with for years, because then you've got all the sort of background of what's going on, or if you're creating a one-shot, because when you're creating a one-shot, again, it's like a short story. It has to be something that stands alone. It has to be something that's accessible without the players having any background of, who's Tiamat, why is she important in this story. So to me, that first thing is just that core, can you describe this in 1 or 2 sentences? It's a haunted carnival that's secretly a real estate developer who's trying to scare people away. Or, it's a hostage scenario, and you have to get the people out. You've got to have that, what is the compelling hook that everybody can identify with, and then from that, expanding that concept. Who are the people involved? Who are the bad guys? Why do we care? Who are the hostages? What are the challenges?
Perfect. Well, surprisingly succinct.
I did lose my, I know if I've still got a minute on my time, I can have.
Okay, so for those of you who were here yesterday, I did recognize a couple of you. We went through a couple of different aspects. We can get my chicken scratch here. We went through the theme, the story, the plot, and some NPCs, and we came up with something that I can only describe as a madhouse. Literally. So we are going to be expanding upon these ideas that we had yesterday in a way to take the outline that we have formed and fine-tune it down into some details so that we have something we can actually throw at our players. Then, later tonight, at 6 o'clock downstairs, I think literally right downstairs, right beneath this floor, we're going to be running through the adventure where Keith Baker will be playing in it along with Mark Meir and Elisa Teague and I believe Vince Casso as well. So we're going to be trying that out. So you'll be able to see all of your horrible ideas inflicted upon these poor people.
That you are going to just fall through the floor, like at the start.
Yeah, we'll be sitting here and just right on stage. So we should get started here so we don't run out of time. Based on what we did last time, I am going to try to be succinct because I wrote it all out and I realized there's a lot happening here. But yeah, basically we have a harsh winter setting, probably somewhere up in the far north, where the party is going to be hired by a circus owner who advises that a rival circus called Mr. Pickles' Illusium Mecanum has a Sphinx kitten, which is their star attraction, being held by a clown cult, and the party must rescue it. It is worth mentioning that the patron believes that all clowns are evil, and he may or may not be right about that.
I'd just like to say, I feel that I called it.
Yeah, you did. I know. You said that, yeah.
And a hostage situation.
Well, in this case, the clowns are actually indeed a cult of dark druids who are actually a false hydra. Their leader is the Sphinx in actuality, and they represent a group of dark druids who believe people should be treated as animals of the circus, and so work to swap the minds of animals with people. They're also compulsive liars and constantly fight over their lives. So the party is going to be given, there's a lot of details here, but to be quick here, the party is going to be given what they need to get into the place. They're going to have to infiltrate the circus. They're going to have to find a way and make a plan to get the Sphinx kitten and then leave. And there are many other layers of details, which I don't want to get into too much detail because we'll be here all day. But what we are going to be doing today is primarily organizing the nitty-gritty of the obstacles, the items that will be leaving around, the loot, and the design of the overall flow of the adventure, putting it all together. So, I have a list of various encounters which we can kind of go over. I've been very nicely provided an envelope with about 3 of those already very nicely detailed, so thank you for that. But for monsters, we at least have 2. We have False Hydra and Sphinx. Do we want to add any other horrible creatures to this adventure?
Cloud giants.
Cloud giants?
From the film of Beast. Cloud
Yeah.
giants.
What is it again? Sorry.
A flap giant.
Oh, a flap giant. Oh, from the Kobold Press. Okay. Sure. Anything in particular with that?
I just thought it would be funny to have a really, really big clown.
Okay, so he's a clown.
I do have to say, a giant clown just sort of looming over a mob of regular-sized clowns is a pretty entertaining concept.
Well, that's where they're like, oh, we can take a bunch of clowns and just...
I mean, now I'm immediately, I'm just saying before we jump into things, thinking like, Manticore clown. You know what I mean? Just like all the different clowns you could do. But,
Oh, like a squeaky toy that's actually some kind of mimic?
Yeah, like you know, like the snake in the jar and snake in the can, and it's actually open and actually a mimic in the can.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, it really is like
Yeah.
bites you, goes back in.
My can of
Peanuts.
peanuts that opens up into a giant mimic tongue.
Yeah,
Just
I
grabs
love
you.
it.
Okay.
This raises the question to me of what baby mimics are like. Are baby mimics coins? Like,
Any other combat encounters that we want to include here? The strongman. Giant is the strongman. Wearing underwear. He wields a giant barbell. Okay, so all the statues are equal.
imagining, it's the Hall of Presidents or whatever, but they're all gargoyles.
Yeah, you get your like evil Colonel Sanders who founded the circus a long time ago.
I say I'm gonna pound you into the ground. Alright.
But see, I would love if the gargoyles had magic nouns, like recorded on them, so yeah,
They're constantly just saying
constant
this thing, yeah.
catchphrases even as they were like trying to tear you apart.
The shaved yeti, or just a yeti. It is in the cold, yes. I mean, I'm all for shaved yetis, because that was the thing, that those were actually just shaved bears. So. Ooh, a hall of mirrors that displace your beasts. You, sir, are evil.
You have to watch them in the mirror.
Yeah.
And, okay, so there was a whole thing about yesterday about how the animals are, like, all the animals in the performance are actually people who've had their minds swapped, and then the laborers are animals in the minds of humans. We did never consider the idea that some of the clowns, or the druids working for the clowns, could also be in the animals, just sort of as like a little bit of an extra thing. That's not a bad idea.
I love the idea of a hall of mirrors, and a super simple way to do that would just be to say everybody in the hall of mirrors automatically is considered to have mirror in them. And you
Yeah, and then
fails, you're just
destroy
smashing mirrors.
smashing the mirror, yeah.
Just, simple. Simple.
Okay, we have a lot of different monsters here. Definitely enough to be able to keep track of what's going on in combat throughout it as we go. we can always come back to this, but I would like to talk about some items that we can include. So a couple that we had were kettle corn of psychic resistance. We had the red and blue cotton candy. The red and blue cotton candy. If you took the red cotton candy, you saw the truth. And then there's a couple of other ideas that I got here, but what do we have for magic items? So these can be things that either the monsters can have or that the players can acquire. Usually it's things that they'll get as a reward. Yeah. Well, that's more of an encounter thing. But yes, I do have that. All right.
Potion of fire reading.
Yes.
I was thinking it was an organization of people who collect magical badges.
Hats of clowning.
What I like about that is that also allows all of the clowns to be undercover. Just in a moment, they all clown up.
A tower shield shaped like a chair. That's great. Shield of chair. Oh, you guys are evil.
It's so delicious.
I guess we didn't say they had to be good magic items.
We talking about?
It's fun. That's always good.
That's like
anything that just gives the party exhaustion is great. I mean, you're thinking too small. I mean, I think if you eat it, you should just gain 1d6 levels of exhaustion. Right? I mean,
I'm just honest. That one Christmas sandwich we had.
Oh, that is exactly what that is.
a flaming whip. Ooh. I don't know why it's flaming, but I'm not wondering. Ah, flaming whip, that makes sense. I mean, I was just happy to whip on fire. It just sounds cool regardless. Let's do this side. Okay, so colored balloons, each color, is it when
Like
you...
a wand of wonder. Or something
A wand of
like
wonder.
that, but it's different balloons. Balloons of wonder.
And, I mean, you could incorporate that with a performance, like I suggest, like throwing knives at them and random things out.
Yeah, I had one balloon of many things.
Balloon of many things.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
It's more dramatic, of course. One's more studio.
Color of many things, each of the patches is an item. Here's a lady, mermaid, random.
Oh, I see. Like a big cryptid. Like what is a monkey sewn onto a fish?
A chimera, but it's just actually a goat head sewn onto it.
It's bad taxidermy.
So you know the idea of like an arrowhead total destruction?
Yeah,
Instead of sending you to the astral plane, it sends you to the cloud direction.
the clown dimension.
That laugh is there all the time.
Don't ever do that again. I'll pay you.
So like,
Okay.
it's irresistible dance.
That is exactly. That's going in. 100%.
That's great.
That's one time we did this. We had a deck of cards, which was called the 52 pickup, and so as soon as it was scattered, you were compelled to collect all the cards and put them back into the deck. A what of invisibility? Oh, clown nose of invisibility. So everything's invisible except the clown nose. Oh, yeah. 100%.
So you whip your allies and they get haste.
I'm just gonna combine those whips and just
Flaming whip of haste.
flaming whip
Yes.
haste.
That'll make you go faster.
Ooh. But every time you step, it squeaks. Yeah. I'm just gonna say Dex and then sort of be killed out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I guess I mentioned, yes. Oh. So, like one of those, like a big squeaky hammer that just. Yeah. Well, they would do, yeah, shillelagh on the squeaky hammer, and then it explodes. How about an explosion? A comedically large explosion.
You see like the boom or the pow.
A clown horn that would blow and summons clowns to fight.
Oh, yes, excellent. The horn of clown summoning.
But then they all crawl out of the bag holding car.
Oh, standard, of course.
I mean, almost you could have a horn of Valhalla where you're actually blowing clowns.
Just climbing out.
They like grow as they fall out.
I was thinking, clown nose that you can't take off until like a long rest.
Yes, okay, so cursed items. Thank you for coming up with the first, cursed item that we have.
Unlike the funnel cake.
Unlike the funnel cake, which is just delicious. So if you put the clown nose on, it's on forever. I would like a detriment to that. What other than the fact that it makes you look atrocious, why don't you want this clown nose on your face? People think you wear it there.
Yeah, I mean, just advantage on some kind of check, but maybe advantage on performance.
You know what I was thinking? It's a clown disease. Every minute or 10 minutes that passes, you become more and more clown-like. You start gaining more and more features. I'm sure, yeah.
See, now I'm gonna have to play a clown who's again, the clown defender of righteous clown techniques that is preventing,
There you go.
defeating not all clowns clown.
All right. We have a lot of items here. I don't want to take too much longer on this. We can come back to this if something comes up, but we're going to move on to some of the design of the actual adventure now. We can incorporate these as we see fit. So far what we have is we have the circus itself where you can go around and explore, and there's different booths and things so the players can investigate to try to determine what's actually happening. But at some point, they're going to have to make a move. They're either going to have to infiltrate and try to steal the Sphinx from wherever it's being held, or wait until the show and grab it during the show while it is doing its final performance. So some ideas we've had for actual design of the adventure framework is that all of the spotlights in the arena are beholder eye rays. We also had this idea of, we had an idea which I have evolved into this, which is that if the players decide to integrate themselves as carnies and they are part of the show, then the encounters happen. If they are watching the show and they are planning to do something at the end of it, you can incorporate this, have them say that it's an audience interaction, have the audience members come down, and they are the ones who come down. They get strapped to wheels, and then the wheels are spun all around, and they have to throw knives at each other. So those are some of the ideas that we have. Looks like we've also got a cotton candy eating contest, a high wire act, and we have something for a clown chariot, which I really like. All of these. But let's talk about some actual like encounters and obstacles and sort of puzzles and things that the players have to deal with in order to accomplish their goal.
The way to get backstage, you have to be through the tunnel of love, and you have to be able to say you're a fall in love with the first character you've seen.
Oh, I like you. Okay.
Something along the lines of like high ropes. You have to like roll up and then like before everyone stop. Not before there's like bottom of the side like you were jumping.
High wire jousting?
Yeah.
I want to see that. That should be a real thing.
When being chased by like the clowns, there are porta potties where you can sneak in and they'll lose line of sight with you, but you have to take a constitution saving throw or take 1d4 acid damage.
Acid damage.
I just have to throw out as a concept though, mimic porta potty. It's mimics all the way down, kid.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday got to the point where the grass, each blade of grass was a mimic tendril. This is getting ridiculous. And,
I have an idea for an encounter for, let's say that your players decide to divide up to steal the item. It would be 2 of them as carnies or 3 of them as carnies, 2 of them as people that are watching in the audience. And then when there's an event like they end up getting together, the clowns summon a mimic, that the mimic transforms into a lion, and when it passes through the like those little wire things, like the circle things, with fire, they turn into a flaming clown lion.
oh, so it's like a transformation kind of situation.
Yeah, because they entered without permission, they enter into some kind of a field where the clowns can transform into
The
whatever they
magical
want.
element.
Yeah.
What I actually kind of like about that is, so this flavors up the encounter a lot because you can have the clowns wielding these as literal weapons to kind of grab them. I like this.
Maybe you'd have to go through a maze, but instead of like a regular corn maze, it'd just be a giant IKEA in the middle of nowhere.
We gave them a shopping list.
It's a whole other dungeon now.
Yeah, you enter the IKEA fun maze and there's like a shopping list of the magic items you can get.
That is pretty funny. I actually really like that.
I was just saying, that
100%.
so maybe they heard that's what the escape would be. So they go in there, try to find it, and the fun maze.
Yeah. Reasons to go and interact with the encounters is always good. So we can definitely do something like if clowns always lie, everybody's like, oh, where can we find this thing? So you can find it there. They ask someone else, well, you can find it there. Ask someone else, you can find it there. Like, okay. So the, versus the that's neat. I like the cup and ball technique. Just to say like, oh, you want to get in? Well,
have sort of like a more fair leaning than Carnival while they're looking for information on where the Sphinx is being held. So there could be like different Carnival games that I feel like that opens a lot of doors for a lot of things people are bringing up, how they find them before there is that infiltration into the Carnival itself.
Okay. And then, ooh, alternate form of entrance, yes. Yeah, I mean, there's really no way to predict what they're going to do. Keith, what are you going to do? Okay. So yeah, alternate entrance, absolutely. I like the idea of having them shoved into crates that are too small for them, and then having to get carted around.
So, assuming that this is going to be like such a, there's going to be a back area where there's like trailers, like multiple meters and stuff. What if there's a required encounter where everyone has to complete a stealth check across like the agents and be sleeping?
Ooh, sleeping mimics.
And if one of them fails the check, there's a chance that they're going to make up.
Okay.
Can you tell a mimic is asleep? Are they snoring?
Snoring.
Yeah, of course.
Snoring cages, and the cages are all.
I mean,
Cages themselves
just think
are
about that.
snoring.
You walk into the room, you realize they're snoring, and you realize it's the chairs. The chairs.
You know, I mean, the amount of mimics that they're going to encounter, they're going to be so paranoid. They're literally going to be like poking every 10 feet. Just,
Stabbing the cotton candy before they eat it.
yeah. Oh, 100%. It works really well. The trap, so like, it's like a trap door that like is a chute that slides you right onto one of the carnival rides and you get sailing around. Okay, I like that.
Tilt-a-whirl.
Not the tilt-a-whirl!
Except carnival ride is also a mimic.
Something like they need a key to the cave where the Sphinx is, and it's in 3 parts, then they have to beat a carnival game to win each one.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I like that.
And that's where you get your balloons that when they make a balloon, you get one wonder effect. So you gotta have balloons. You can't just decide not to do it.
Yeah, I mean, also
But something dramatic will happen
there's a
when
reason
you
to
do
do
it.
it.
Right, exactly.
So currently the only person who hired them is just a rival circus. That's all we have on them. Oh, very good.
So going back to the three that you gotta do games, it could be a ticket situation. You have to collect so many tickets to.
Oh, yeah, it's like a bunch of prizes, yeah.
And that way it's sort of less of an arbitrary custom for things, but it's you've got to actually succeed. You know, so again, going back to the even though we know it's stupid to get these balloons, you know, you can get more tickets, you can get more balloons, you know,
I
sort
mean, you
of.
can do the same thing with the magic items, like the actual prizes.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it's always good on that point of giving the players a reason to do something that they know is dangerous or stupid, but, you know, again,
You don't need to give a reason for players to do something they know.
that is true.
Ferris wheel, where only when you reach the top can you actually see past the down below.
Oh, that's good.
A little peek behind the curtain, yeah.
Yes. There's a rule. We're gonna have a quick impromptu module design panel. There's a rule when designing modules, which is that everything should be in 3s. So if you want your players to discover a secret, you should have 3 ways for them to discover that secret, because that way you're pretty much guaranteed they're going to stumble upon it through sheer dumb luck, if nothing else. Because if you only have one way for them to do it, chances are they're not going to figure it out.
You seem very excited.
A spinning room, like with an offering, but the doors need to be throughout.
one shot, right?
Yeah, one of the doors is actually a bunch of clowns trying to get in.
The cloud dimension.
And it all comes back.
Just some light. Yeah, I'm just gonna put purple worm's stomach acid.
See, but it also works though for it being water ready.
Yes. Oh yeah, there will be rifles and stuff. I think that's definitely gonna be the case.
And general design thing, each door the players open, there's a 1 in however so many chance that it's good.
The entire one shot is the party standing in the middle of the carnival because they don't want to go anywhere.
Okay, so this just ties, I'm just going to throw out to, something actually did a book called The Complete Guide to Doppelgangers, and it threw out the idea that doppelgangers were the child stage of mimics. Doppelgangers get old, they settle down and become mimics, and then when a whole bunch of mimics get together, they merge together into a giant mimic, which I call a doppel shot. And the whole point of that is to say the circus is a mimic. But
Well, you know, there's that rule about mimic colonies. I'll go take a look at that again. All right, we got a little bit more time for some dungeon design, and then I want to wrap everything up.
So, idea to help move the party towards different events of it.
not to IKEA, preferably.
So the idea would be when they first get there, they actually win the 1,000 or million guest award. That gives them a fast pass towards specific events.
Oh, interesting.
And it's totally not a trap.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
So, the midway games, maybe one of the parties kind of gives them a nod over, so they got some information for you. But I haven't hit my quota today, and makes them keep playing. If they help him meet his quota, he gives them, something moving forward. If they don't, he gives them some sort of little tchotchke toy that they're going to throw in their pack, and that has to be like a cursed item, like a stuffed toy that disadvantage, and they don't know it, so we keep making them roll disadvantage, they don't know why, so eventually they get rid of it. And on the flip side, we keep focusing on mimics. What if at the carnival they're giving out goldfish and bags, but each of those bags are gelatinous cube? So only if they break the bag, open the bag, and look inside, then it's a lead, so it's like Captain King, and it looks innocuous.
I do like the idea of, in order to gain information, they actually have to help the person that way. Like, you mean quarter. Actually, that's really good. So that is excellent. And why not gelatinous cubes?
Yeah, and you slowly see the fish dissolve if you check back every 5 minutes.
That's good.
We had a dramatic gasp over here. I'm very curious what.
That is the question, isn't it? Oh, this was always a horror game.
But also, it means you have a bunch of people just walking around.
Yeah.
So the school of fish was actually the school class. But
Okay.
It's okay, they're all just adult happenings.
Yeah. They're all just halflings and gnomes. It's fine. Just college students. Whatever. No one cares about college kids. They're always in the way. You know what? I'm just gonna say everything is a mimic, and we can go we can go from there because I feel like that's just at this point where we are. The cans are what? Oh, immovable rods.
Yeah, it's can't have them on because it's removable rod.
You gotta break
I
this.
mean, who wouldn't?
That is
do
actually
that in an actual magical carnival.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's how they work already.
I do have to say, given the number of mimics already around, we're talking about a mimic tent. What about, I forget what they're called, those are lurkers, the things that stay on the ceiling and then fall down?
Well, there's two. There's the dark mantles, and then there's the trappers.
I was just thinking a tent that's, just to change it up for mimics, because there's only so many times.
Well, there's a lot of things you can do. You've got trappers, you've got dark mantles, you've got piercers, you've got smothering rugs of smothering.
That's all I'm saying is, I mean, even a rug of smothering is a perfect example of, you can flavor it as a kind of mimic, but it's still not just you're fighting another mimic, if you see what I'm saying. So.
Everything can be animated. Alright, we're gonna do like one or two more of these and then we're gonna wrap things.
Part of me wants to say, what if at the very end, everybody's really hungry, tapped out, this thing's gathering players in the whole time, but in actuality, after you expand, the ticket in, you could have like a really sketchy, like a Jeep vendor or something, you can exchange your ticket for, and most of the things are hers. I don't like that a little bit. Also, I think what is doing these like mind transfusions, like they could be like enlisted help with a mind player or something. You can like do this transfer from mind to body kind of thing.
Oh, so it's not only that it's not so much that it's a curse, it's literally they have like an eldritch horror just doing things. He's just a buddy. He's just casual.
So false Hydra, Sphinx, and Eldritch Horror walk into a bar.